just almost dismantled all of the old manufacturing facilities, but there's still a few bunkers and different things. We're going to try to explore a few of those and see some of them. But if you're a mountain biker, there are just literally just miles and miles and miles of roads. Some of the roads are just literally almost highway quality, and that kind of goes back to all the infrastructure that was built to support all the different manufacturing that went on in the plant when it was an operating facility. The side of the old Dicall or Longhorn Ammunition Plant down here in eastern Harrison County. Anyway, somewhat historic site in that a lot of weapon systems were manufactured here starting back in World War II. And it was in operation well into I want to say the late 90s or so, like that. My mother worked out here for a short period of time, and I think Cheryl's mom also worked out here for a while. But the last probably major contribution as part of some of the SALT negotiations with the Soviet Union, a lot of the ICBMs were actually destroyed down here at the ammunition plant. So in any case, we're down there. I'm out here just exploring around. So we'll see what we got. Okay, so there is a pretty informative historical marker here close to the entrance of the plant or of the site. I keep calling it the plant because that's what I knew it is. In the summer of '79, following my graduation from high school, I actually worked out here with a crew that was laying phone cables, basically communication cables, throughout the plant. And we trenched and laid cable, I want to say, throughout. It was big. You know, at that time there wasn't fiber optics, or we didn't use it. It was all copper cabling that we laid probably throughout, miles and miles of this, and ended up working out here for, oh gosh, half the summer anyway. Did that with a bunch of my high school buddies, guys I went to school with. In this area there was cafeterias and a lot of just different facilities and warehouses and different things. So this is a pretty active place back in '79. Activity continued till around 1995, and then it was turned over and became a wildlife refuge, and they've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. So anyway, we're gonna cruise around a little bit and see what else we can get into. Inside the visitor center, you know, it's not real plush. There is no air conditioning, just so you know, but there's a few little exhibits here. It's the first time, believe it or not, the first time I've been in here. I've lived around here my whole life, but I've driven down here many times, but the first time I'd ever been inside the actual visitor center. So you know, probably worth taking your head in. Some kind of cool exhibits of some different things around here. We'll show you some more. come inside the old, I guess it was the original guardhouse, and they've made it into a another visitor center or display. Looks like it's information regarding the Ramsar Treaty, which this site is a part of. So anyway, just a couple of some pretty nice little exhibits, little information about the site. This is one of the few buildings that's here, building 702. I'm not exactly sure what it was for, but, and you can see it had some juice into it. I mean, look at the size of the cables going into this building. So I'm sure it might have been a testing facility, or if there's I mean, this was an extensive compound. And, you know, if you look around, I mean, you still see remnants of the infrastructure that was placed here. All, for the most part, just abandoned, locked up, and just left for nature to come in and take it back over. You know, the power has been pulled away. Looks like we did have a water well. Everything's just locked up. We're gonna stick our head in here and just see what we can see. Let's see. Not exactly sure what building 702 was, but it's oh, we can get in through here, a little bit bigger window. So this was some sort of parking lot, and you can see remnants of the old fence. We're gonna take a little gander around here to see if we see anything. There might have been some sort of structure here, because it looks like there's some debris of a building. You know, that might have been where the old foundation was. So not exactly sure what was here, but well, you just see little sites like this all over the place, you know, little remnants of wood. But you know, the whole place is you know, just being slowly taken over by nature, and literally just, you know, while I'm sure certain parts of the facility was shut down and abandoned over the years, it was, I mean, we're going 30 something years ago. This was a going operation, and now they've just turned it over. And of course, it looks like they are doing some active timber management. You can see where there's been prescribed burns, and it looks like they're actively trying to grow timber, pine timber, on this location. They allow hunting and other type of activities. A lot of deer, a lot of wildlife. Hence, it's a wildlife refuge. Just real quiet out here. So there's literally miles and miles and miles of paved and unpaved roads on the facility, and open up for hiking or just driving. There's a route, there's an auto tourage route, and also there's a lot of people, and I know several, who come down here and do bicycle riding. You know, you probably want to come out here with a mountain biker, but we're gonna continue on with the in the Forerunner and see what else we see. down here at Star Ranch, and there's a little pavilion, but there's also a boat launch and a little dock, and you're basically right here in Caddo right now, on Caddo. And this is not quite the same as canoeing it or being in a boat, but this is it. So So one of the things that all the water controversy is about is the preservation of water going into Caddo. Caddo gets most of its water from Big Cypress, and there's lots of discussions and lots of controversy about the Metroplex, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, wanting to buy water from Lake of the Pines and other sources upstream from here. And you know, the perception is we've got all the water we need, but you know, this place takes all the water it takes, and it truly is a unique resource. It's a unique place, and I don't know that we want to sacrifice this place to keep golf courses and lawns and swimming pools in Dallas open. But anyway, here we are at Star Ranch. Not too far from Star Ranch. It's just maybe a mile or so away down the road from where we're at now. There is some fairly accessible old buildings or bunkers. Not exactly sure what these were, whether they were warehouse or actual manufacturing facilities, but you know, they pretty well got rid of all these, or destroyed these buildings, or took them down, raised them, left the old concrete. Something else here, and looking at all these old buildings. Yeah. So if you come down here, there is a lot of poison ivy, and you know, a lot of other things you need to be aware of. I don't think most of these places that are open are not too hazardous. We're going to walk down through here and see what else we can find. Here's another old bunker. But this is one of the roads that is not, you know, marked as restricted. But you can see, I mean, you know, you got the old telephone poles, old light poles, all of this stuff that's still just abandoned in here. And this is what happens when you let East Texas go back to its natural state. Pine trees, sweet gums, elms, they're gonna volunteer in. Ooh, dragonfly. Oh, check this out. So, I don't know how well this is coming out. Yeah. Is there anything in here? R102. So, if you worked out here, I mean, these are R102, RM104. I don't know what those designations mean or what they might have been, but if somebody's out there knows something about some of these buildings, what they were, leave a comment and let us know. But this is, you know, it's part of our history. And gosh, there's more bunkers down this way. Me and my grandfather and my uncles and a couple of other guys built fences around the perimeter back when I was probably, I want to say 15 or 16 years old. My grandfather got a contract with the operators down here, and we put up a barbed wire fence or a perimeter fence around the outside. And we didn't come inside very much. All right, look here. Just some more stuff. I'll just tell you, if you're allergic to poison ivy, be careful, because it is everywhere. It is running all over, so be careful. And there's probably some other critters down here too. The R104. This is big berm. Obviously this is something that was excavated or piled up here. We're going to check out this one more set of bunkers. Okay, one thing, if y'all are interested, I'm shooting this again on my GoPro Mission 1 Pro. It is you know, it's a pretty good little camera for this kind of activity. It's fairly lightweight. There's some obscenities there. Hopefully that doesn't come up. We'll edit that out. But wow, here's another one of these facilities. And there it is. I mean, these facilities, they're all kind of the same. And just big old concrete blocks. I mean, this looks almost exactly identical to the one we just looked at. And you know, these things will probably be here long after we're gone, and people will come here and wonder what we did as a civilization to build these things. What were they for? Or maybe they'll know. All right, there's one more. We're gonna walk on down here. Here's another one. We're gonna walk in through here. This is kind of neat. Oh gosh, if you get down in these little complexes and you think you've seen everything, and then you look and back over here, here's another whole building or compound of different buildings, bunkers, whatever you want to call them, but all constructed with what appears to be pretty hardened concrete. You know, this is just almost amazing. All on heavy-duty concrete foundations. All right, so I'm going to walk on back, but if anybody who sees this video recognizes or knows anything about the locations out there, give me put it in the comments. Tell us about it. If you worked out here at Longhorn Ammunition Plant back in the day, tell us what your experiences were. It's really kind of a neat and almost mysterious location. Nature is taking over. I'm sure when they built this was probably all cleared and just open. And these, all this timber is not that old, but man, you can see how it's all reverting back to nature. I've spent, I don't know, a couple of hours, maybe a little bit longer out here today. There's probably a lot more exploring to do, but this was kind of a quick little impromptu visit that I made out here to just to check it out. I hadn't been out here in a while. Here's the advice I'd tell you: the Refuge is open from basically all daylight, sunrise to sunset. Bring some water. There are some, there's some convenience stores and some restaurants and things like that. You're not too far from Uncertain, and you're right close to Karnak. But these are small locations, so count on that. We're about 15-20 minutes from Jefferson, and probably maybe 30 minutes, maybe give or take, to Marshall, Texas. So this place is pretty accessible. You're kind of on your own, and there are, I don't even know how many miles of paved roads and gravel roads there are that you don't have to have a special vehicle to drive these. I'm in my 4Runner, but it's a 2-wheel drive 4Runner, but you know, you could have driven it in a sedan. There's nothing that I went to today that a regular car couldn't have got through. This is a historical place. They're letting it just kind of go back to nature, and which is neat. Particularly, it's immediately adjacent and connected to Caddo Lake. So come on out. I'd say come out here and check this out. I'm gonna try to possibly do some other things down here, but you know, if you just want to come out and explore a little bit, if that's what you're into, you can hike, you can bicycle, you can ride your horse down here, or you can just take a little drive around, which is what I did today, and did a little bit of walking around, but no light stuff. So anyway, we're gonna head on back, and if you like this like it, and we'll see you next time.